Ladies and gentlemen, live from the top of the food chain, Brooklyn, New York, a new day has arrived in cable TV. Strap yourselves in for a fun ride. It's the Cyclone Variety Show. Now here's your host, Cyclone!
Hey everyone. Welcome to our 12th show. That's right, 12 shows. It's our 1-year anniversary. Of course, apparently it's taken us 2 years to get it. I guess we celebrate in breaking dog years. Of course, nobody on my lovely crew here today got me any anniversary gifts. But you see, that's not like me. I was going to get them all gifts. I was actually going to get them iPads. I saw that a guy was selling iPads for 99 cents each. So I ordered them. Unfortunately, when they came, they were actually just iPads. So we're finally back from our nice long break. And I did a lot of TV watching. And I sort of watched that show, The Amazing Race. And I found something out about that show. The race isn't really that amazing. And I saw a lot of that commercial with J.K. Simmons for Farmers Insurance, you know. And I kind of want to see, like, Spider-Man swing out of nowhere and just, like, zap him a couple of times. And I was watching a lot of Maury. And, you know, I am such an addicted gambler that I was betting on who is and isn't a father. And I was losing. Kaylee Cuoco admitted that from The Big Bang Theory, admitted that she is now addicted to nose spray. Yep. That's sort of making me wonder, like, what Tara Reid is doing these days. And it was found out through Hollywood Reporter that Jennifer Lopez asks her management company to make sure that all of her male co-stars are young and single. Jennifer. Single. Available. Well, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. We're going to be talking a lot about football today. And, I mean, Rex Ryan's now in Buffalo, and apparently now people in Buffalo are wishing for another lake effect snowstorm to come. And, of course, my Seattle Seahawks are in this year's Super Bowl next week, 2 weeks from now. And, of course, just coming out yesterday, the New England Patriots deflated 11 out of the 12 balls. Actually, they didn't do it. My ex-girlfriend is a master at deflating balls. Really? As my grandmother used to say, you're a Weisenheimer. So there's a ban now about people taking photos with the big cats. You know, you can't take photos with lions or tigers or jaguars or leopards. Ladies, fear not. You might not be able to take photos with big cats, but this big teddy bear, you can always take a photo with. You know who else you can take a photo with? A great band all the way up from a place called New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Centennials.
Every story starts with a once upon a time when the stars had aligned and everything was fine. Then when things start to change and our dreams start to fade, and we live through the bad things. So many people tell me I'm going nowhere fast. How many times must I start all over to get back to where I stand here? I'm running in circles and fighting a lost cause. We need to start all over. Start all over. How many times must I start all over to get back to where I stand here? I'm running in circles and fighting a lost cause. We need to start all over. Start all over. I want to close my eyes and sleep forever. They tell me forever's a long time. Forever is a long time. I want to close my eyes and sleep forever. They tell me forever's a long time. Forever is a long time. How many times must I start all over to get back to where I stand here? I'm running in circles and fighting a lost cause. We need to start all over. Start all over. So many people tell me I'm going nowhere.
All right, everybody. If I took this jacket off right now, you guys would see goosebumps. I'm not going to do it because I don't want you guys to vomit. Truth be told, right now, ladies and gentlemen, my guest doesn't even need an introduction. But I'll do it because you guys don't know yet. Two-time Super Bowl champion from the New York Giants. Not going to mention the Browns or the Redskins. Number 58, Carl Banks.
Thank you, sir.
So much for stopping by,
Thank
Carl.
you for having me.
All right. So, coming out of Michigan State in the '84 draft, did you know that the Giants were going to take you?
No, I had no clue. Actually, I didn't even know I was going to be drafted in the first round at all because we had a horrible team at Michigan State during that period. And, you know, I'm reading about all these great linebackers, Ricky Hunley and Jackie Shipp from Oklahoma, and then they had Wilbur Marshall from Florida. They had so many good linebackers, and I didn't know where I stood. I was all first team All Big Ten 3 years in a row, but it was the Big Ten, and I didn't know how we stacked up against the Big 12 and all those guys in the Pac-10. But no, the Giants never gave any inclination that they were going to pick me.
Wow. As a Seahawks fan, I got to say that one of your former teammates there at Michigan State, Darryl Turner, was our second round pick. Now look, I'm not comparing to Ryan Leaf or Tony Mandrich or on that level. But what happened in between college and the pros? Because I think in his Seahawk career he had one good game.
He ate Lester Hayes up. What are you talking about? He was killing Haynes and Hayes. All right, so let me just say, because full disclosure, Darryl and I were high school rivals. We've known each other since we were probably in elementary school.
See, now I'm going to get it.
No. One of the most gifted athletes you'll ever see. I mean, completely basketball was a better sport for him than football. Right. What happened to Darryl, a couple things. He had lifestyle issues in terms of, substance abuse, and he was so good, it came so easy for him. Because I think at some point he has or have the ability to overcome any of that lifestyle stuff, but what he did came so easy to him that he never really worked at it. And I think that was my biggest frustration as a friend, knowing how good he was and he was so much better. And even at the pro level, when he wanted to be better than you, he could. He just didn't want to be better than everybody all the time.
I mean, because the 84 season was my first remembrance of football. And when people ask me how did I become a Seahawk fan,
Darryl Turner.
Well,
was it his spikes? He had the best. He could spike the football better than anybody.
You know what? Yeah, he did.
When he spiked it, it went probably 10, 15 feet.
And they talk about Gronkowski now.
He's not even close.
Absolutely.
Not even close.
Now, did you know anything about the tri-state area?
No, I didn't even know. I did know a little bit about the Giants because Brad Van Pelt, who was our hometown hero, played here for the Giants. And I kind of followed him, I guess unintentionally, but intentionally, to Michigan State. And this is another hometown story. Our high schools were rivals. Now, Brad's older than me, but he was like our Jim Thorpe. And I know young people who don't know who Jim Thorpe is. He was the do-everything. He was the Bo Jackson of my era. So Brad Van Pelt was a baseball player, ran track, basketball, football. He did everything. And so he went to Michigan State. I ended up at Michigan State. He came to the Giants, and I was drafted by the Giants, which was a little odd for me because he was an all-pro linebacker. The Giants had four all-pro linebackers, so I had no idea why they even drafted me.
I'll tell you what. You don't get half the credit you deserve. And Canton should be... No, seriously, you know what? Look, you had the other side of the line that was powerful.
No. Let's just call it for what it is. The other side of the line was almighty. Okay. It was. There's no question. I have no quarrel whatsoever with number 56. And when it comes to credit, you can see, and I don't get caught up in the Hall of Fame thing because number one, I don't have the numbers for it, but number two, it's a very subjective process for the Hall of Fame, and I've been very open about saying that some of and it probably doesn't apply to me, but those folks who have the power of that vote, it's their one time a year to play God, and there are people that have accomplished a lot more than me on the football field that are still waiting to get in the Hall of Fame. Joe Klecko being one, Dan Reeves being another. And, there are cases to be made that are clear that these guys don't. So for me, my validation came by hearing it from Lawrence Taylor, how good I was and how important I was to our success, but also my opponents. When you want to know how good I was, just ask the people that played against me or that I played against, and they could tell you,
Well, who would you say is the toughest offensive lineman you had to deal with?
Wow, I think it was Washington Redskins or Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the other. Their offensive line was, without a doubt, the toughest consistently throughout my career.
Okay, to finish this sentence, the best coach I ever played for was.
Bill Parcelachek.
See, because I was gonna say if push came to shove, and I only wish I could have said Parcells, Belichick, or Reeves.
Yeah.
I mean Gibbs, but
Gibbs was gone, unfortunately.
Right.
But Bill Parcelachek is my answer. I'm sticking with that.
with Jim Harbaugh heading back to Michigan, how crazy do you think that rivalry is going to be with Ohio State?
You know, it's so interesting you say that because the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, it has stood the test of time. But sitting atop of the Big Ten is Ohio State and Michigan State. So it's almost like, and I hope all of you in Spartanland get that chip on your shoulder again, because all the work you've done, now all of a sudden Michigan gets a coach and now it's about Michigan, Ohio State. Not really. But that is in all seriousness, that is the rivalry of the Big Ten. So I think, number one, what Harbaugh brings as an excellent coach to the conference is going to be something special. But the name Harbaugh and Urban Meyer, and watching that whole rivalry develop, because both are personalities in their own right, and I'm sure Harbaugh right now has this thing about Urban Meyer. I guarantee you he does. So that's going to be a rivalry that you're going to enjoy for a while.
Now, I don't even know how to say this, but Jameis Winston might be. I guarantee you he's gone by at least number 4, if not even before that.
Sure.
With the problems he's had off the field, is it sort of like the early warning signals that he might be what Sue is on the field? Is he that?
No.
Cancerous?
But let's look at what he actually has done that is the most egregious, and what he has done, let's look at what he's been accused of, which is the most egregious of all of his offenses, and what he has done that you chalk up to being a 21-year-old. So if a college student of any stature playing football or basketball went in and stole some crab legs, dumb thing, slap on the wrist, 21-year-old having fun, right? On a dare or whatever. Now you add the allegation of rape to that, then it just piles on as he's a bad guy, bad character guy, all of these other things. So I don't know if his offenses now, and I don't know how the rape allegation is going to turn out, but I think you have to separate that, because if that is indeed something that he's going to be dealing with, then you have a problem. The other stuff, I don't think you have a problem with that. I don't think you have a problem with him stealing crab legs. I don't know the other issues, but you got 2 that we know of, and everything else seems to be, well, he's a bad guy, this cloud, but maybe not. Maybe not. I know he's a hell of a football player. I hope his flaws are just that of a 21, 22-year-old and not of a man who abuses and rapes women. So if that is not the offense, then I think whoever chooses him is going to have a pretty good quarterback for about 10 years.
I mean, I would say Tennessee would take him, but, I mean, now Chip Kelly said that he's definitely going to go after Mariota. And
good for Mariota, because that's probably the only place he'll hit the ground running. And I'm not saying anything negative about Mariota, because I think he's going to be a good pro. I don't think he'll be a good pro faster in any other system than Chip Kelly's. Now, if he's in Chip Kelly's system, just add water, you got yourself a hell of a quarterback. If he goes somewhere else, he's going to have to learn the pro-style offense. Jameis Winston, on the other hand, the only place he probably can't play when he gets drafted is Philadelphia right away. Everywhere else he could play.
You're broadcasting, by the way, Mondays and Fridays on WFAN with Joe Beningo and Evan Roberts.
Yes.
Giants pregame, postgame.
Yes.
Phil Simms is CBS's main guy.
Yep.
McConkey does broadcasting.
Yes.
Howard Cross does broadcasting.
Harry Carson does broadcasting.
Broadcasting?
Yep.
Jim Burt has his car dealership.
And Brad Benson does a ton of stuff. So, yeah.
Why is it? It's
Bart
so,
Oates,
it seems that
very
more
successful.
than any other team,
Otis Anderson's very successful.
that New York Giants seem to be more successful.
Well, you have
post-careers.
hometown bias is what you have. But, New York is a land of opportunity if you, number one, and how about Michael Strahan?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just leapfrogged us all. But New York is a land of opportunity, and if you're proactive and opportunistic, you get an opportunity to really take advantage of that. I mean, listen, say what you want about Tiki Barber. The guy actually performed on Broadway. I mean, so here's a guy when he was playing. So there are opportunities here that you can explore that maybe folks in Seattle can't. You know what I mean? They may have to go to L.A. to do some of those things. You don't have to leave town if you have ambition, because there are a lot of opportunities.
But like even the Jets, I mean, you got Ray Lucas at SNY.
Mm-hmm.
Klecko does stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't hear. I don't know why, but it's not like you hear like every other Jet is roaming around.
Well, there's a reason. No disrespect, but when your name is constantly talked about as a player and synonymous with success, then that name resonates more and more and more. Ray Lucas was a quarterback for the New York Jets, so you always heard his name. Joe Klecko was one of the best Jets ever, aside from Joe Namath. So you knew his name. When you don't hear players' names a lot, they don't resonate. But that doesn't mean they don't have opportunities. But you hear more about Giants because we won a lot, we did a lot, we had great defenses, and we were obviously a pretty darn good team for a long time with, a lot of Super Bowls, a lot of playoff appearances. So you get names, recognizable names.
I know this is a loaded question, but on that note, which of the two teams is closer? And I'll even throw in Buffalo, since Buffalo's technically New York.
Closer to what?
A championship.
The lake, the ocean.
A championship.
A championship. I think it's pretty safe to say that if you have a quarterback or that quarterback position stabilized, you're closer to a championship than the teams that don't. Buffalo don't have a stable quarterback situation. The Jets do not have a stable quarterback situation. Both teams are going through transition. The Giants went through their transition last year in overhauling their offense. So I would say it would be the Giants that have a closer step to a championship because they have a quarterback, because they have a system, because they have a quarterback that's won it twice. That matters. And the other two teams are once again going through transition.
Do you think it was fair for Perry-Fewell, with the injuries that they had, to be honest, and the Giants were racked for a while, was it fair for Perry-Fewell to take the bullet for it?
In sports, it's not necessarily a matter of fairness because everybody that coaches knows it's about results. Your job is predicated upon results. And when the results are not there, and I'll get to answer your question, but when the results are not there, the guy that normally gets it, catches the bullet, is the coach. Perry, maybe there are some things he could have done differently, but he had players, even the players that he had out there, that didn't do their jobs as well as they should have either. Now, they were a fundamentally unsound team. That speaks to coaching. But some of the things he wanted to do, he couldn't. If he wanted to blitz, he couldn't count on guys being where they were supposed to be. That's a player issue. And as much as you say, well, it's not all Perry's fault, if the guys aren't responding from week to week and they give up so many big plays every week, it may not be the coach's fault, but the results aren't there, and that tells you there's a mindset amongst his players that need to be changed, and there are too many of those to change out. So you change out the coach.
On the topic of coaching, if you were to add that to your resume,
I'd be busy.
but would you, because I know that it was mentioned a couple times, would you ever want to do it? And I'll ask you it this way. Would you do it to the level of high school where it's more, I guess, for the love of the game for the kids? College or just jump straight to pros?
I've coached Little League before, and I enjoy that. I love the teaching process and the development of it. But if I were to ever entertain coaching, which that's not in the cards for me, it would be at the pro level. I had great experiences from some wonderful coaches, Al Groh, Bill Belichick, Romeo Crennel, all great coaches, and they were great teachers. And when you have that, you want to pass that on because you understand the game a little differently.
Okay, with the Super Bowl coming up, how close do you think it's going to be? Because if you give Belichick 2 weeks to think, if he's not deflating footballs, it's tough. He's tough to beat.
Here's what you know. You know that you have a defending Super Bowl champion that went and dismantled Peyton Manning like he had not set a single record. They're a very good team, too. Now, you give that Seattle team time to think, 2 weeks, they're a challenge in and of themselves. And at some point, talent takes over. The best team wins when both teams are prepared.
Now, before we wrap, tell me about the genesis of G3 Sports.
Well, G3 Sports is all things Carl Banks. I partnered with G3 25 years ago when I was still playing, over 25 years now. And I wanted to be in the sports apparel business because I was one of the first players to endorse and represent the Starter brand. And so I wanted to get in it, and I wanted to be just like Starter when I grew up. And I've grown beyond that, but I now have Starter as one of my brands as well.
Out of curiosity, you think Ray Rice or Adrian Peterson will be back?
I think they'll both be back. I think they'll both be back. Adrian Peterson for sure. Ray Rice, other than the most egregious thing he could have ever done, he's otherwise has been a good citizen. So you don't have a history of bad behavior. You have one major freaking incident that turned the league on its ear, but he'll be back, I believe.
Out of curiosity, you ever give Boomer Esiason crap because you went higher in the draft than he did?
No, but I think Boomer was a little bitter about not being respected as a very good quarterback that year because there was some quarterbacks that came out that I can tell you that weren't as good as Boomer. So it's not, and I would never screw with him because that was a year of the linebacker anyway. So many linebackers taken that year, and I do believe he was disrespected though as a quarterback. He was a darn good quarterback coming out of college.
I don't know how Louis Lips sank as low as he did. My goodness.
Louis Lips sinks ships.
Oh my God. I don't know how Seattle didn't take him in the first round. Oy. Okay. I want to thank you for your time. I am honored, so much so that you graced this building with your presence.
Listen, I got a personal invitation from you, so I am honored to be here. No, you guys don't know. He actually approached me as I was leaving the Joe and Evans show and asked if I would consider coming on his show, and I, without hesitation, says I'll make it work, and I'm so glad it did. Thanks for having me.
I am so honored. Thank you so much, Sean. So, I'd like to laugh now. I hope you guys want to laugh too. I had the pleasure of recently working with this comic over in Bayshore, Long Island, for my Long Island debut. I give you all Christy Bellich.
Guys, hey. So first off, I want to say, you know what? Screw the cops, right? Screw them. Because these days it seems like, I don't know, black people are like flies to honey for cops. Like, I don't know, guys are getting shot in the face, the arms, the ears, the pinky toes. Like, it makes no sense to me. So I was like thinking, how do we resolve this issue? You know what I mean? So why don't we make like prostitution like legal totally across the board, right? It'd be like, I don't know, like a cop fluffer association, right? And we just like have like ladies like say like Desiree on the corner, you go, hey lady, come with me. We'll give you a pension and it'll be kind of like jury duty. And we'll go like literally screw the cops in the morning. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like I think it'll bring peace and love across the world. And like, I don't know, lady cops, you're not going to be left out of this one because like those batons are there for a reason, you know? Yeah. I have a lot of rapper friends who like to smoke weed, and they also like to send me these YouTube videos, and they say like the Illuminati or some shit or some stuff, is out to get us. So I was like thinking to myself, like, what is the Illuminati? The Illuminati. It's like a band of old sad white man gang, I think, that like goes to a basement and then they like rub each other in their shoulders, and then they go down to their nether regions and stuff, and they're like, you're so great and you're so great and you're so great, let's buy and sell oil and like get on our boat and just like paint by numbers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like a lot of my like, I don't know, conspiracy friends, they say that there's like lizards in the government. You know, like they're like, oh, there's these like reptiles and they're like running everything. So I was thinking to myself, well, we have all this like racism and stuff. Like, what if there's like one day a world coalition that just like goes out and they have like a press conference and they're like, hey guys, we had a secret, and they all unzip, and then all of a sudden like every government official is like a pterodactyl or an iguana or a chameleon. You're like, oh my God, you guys, you've been evolving among us the whole time. What would that do for racism or hatred? You know what I mean? Like, because now we have like lizards and we're like humans. You know what I mean? So like it would no longer be like we're black or brown or purple or green. We'd have to like band together like Darwin style and be like, oh my gosh, my boss is an iguana named Ed and he drives a Honda Civic to work. Who knew? But what would that happen? Like, what would chameleons do? Like, chameleons would be like the new, I don't know, Ferguson situation. It'd be like, screw you, chameleon. You could be any color you wanted to be. Go to the back of the bus, you know? And then like chameleons would have to rise and overcome. And then all of a sudden like chameleons would be like marching in the streets, but you wouldn't see them because they blend into the pavement. So much. I used to work at this heart hospital where they did like heart surgery and transplants and stuff. And I saw like this helicopter landing on the roof. And I thought to myself, and I don't know why, but I thought, oh my gosh, little Billy's going to get a heart today. Like I just, for some reason. And then I thought of like this family who has this really sick kid with like heart disease that like gets a phone call and they're like, okay, your son is finally going to get the heart he deserves and needed. And then I thought to myself, well, this family probably goes to church, right? Because that's what people do when their kid's dying. They go to church. And there's like a pastor, and he gets on stage, and he's like, let us pray. Let us pray that today, old Jim the drunk, who's on white knuckle therapy, you know what I mean? He's like that AA kind of guy, but he's going tomorrow. He's not going to go today, you know. Goes to the bar, right? So old Jim the drunk, or whatever his name is, he goes to the bar, right? We're praying, okay? And he sits down and he puts back like 1 shot of whiskey. That's not enough. 2 shots, 3 shots. okay, like 50 shots back or whatever it takes to make him drunk. He like gets into his car, you know, and he drives away, and it's an old beat up car. And he goes through an intersection, right into a minivan, right into a family that just happens to have like a really, really healthy kid about the same age as Billy, you know what I mean? But he's like a really good kid because he's got like a really healthy heart. He's the swim team captain. Basically, guys, I think this year we shouldn't do anti-drinking and driving ads. I think we should say that drinking and driving, it helps provide sick kids with healthy hearts. You know what I mean? Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. So we've learned a lot today, haven't we? We've learned about the Illuminati and about that there's lizards among us. But most importantly, that it's okay to drink and drive, guys. Peace and love and Happy New Year.
So, Miss Bellich,
Yes, sir.
for you. So, nice seeing you again.
Nice to see you.
Oh, stop, you're a bad liar. Now, you've traveled all over.
I have.
Where would you say is your favorite place you've gone to?
New Zealand is my favorite place
Really?
in the whole wide world. Actually, no, the Amazon rainforest.
Really?
Yeah, both places. Equal.
Do I get, like, this place, like, a slow second, maybe?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. I have to say that because you can hire me, right?
Yeah.
This man
Oh,
can
yeah, I
hire
can
me.
hire.
This is totally my
Yeah.
favorite place in the whole wide world. Yeah.
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 Right. Is there anything you don't like about doing stand-up?
I call it, can I say the letter, can I spell out something that's a bad word? I call it the man daisy chain. Man-loving daisy chain. Misogyny.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like this thing that happens, like these guys, they have really hairy balls and stuff, and they talk to each other.
Let's not give him to Bill Belichick. You might deflate him. Or my ex.
Oh. We won't.
Yeah, she didn't go there either.
Oh.
I thank you for not giving me a rim shot.
Drama.
Okay, well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. So, you guys ready to rock again?
Yeah.
I am. Once again, Centennials!
There was once a time when things were mine, when I kept my thoughts wrapped in my mind. I've been so busy waiting for the pain to subside, but all this time I've been just fine. I'll be just fine. There was once a time I was alive, when I tried to speak my mind. We've gotten busy waiting for the pain to subside, but all this time we've been just fine. We'll be just fine. We've been just fine. We'll be just fine. You take and you take, but what do you want from me? What do you want from me, Molly? You take and you take, but what do you want from me? gone by. I've gotten busy waiting for the pain to subside, but all this time I've been just fine. I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. You take and you take, but what do you want from me? What do you want from me, Molly? You take and you take, but what do you want from me? What do you want from me, Molly? Oh, I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine.
Yeah. All right. Was I right, guys, or what? Every once in a while, I can get right. So, intro, everybody. See?
Well, we are Centennials. I am Ronette, the singer.
I'm Steven. I play guitar.
I'm Dennis. I
That's
play
Dennis
bass.
over there.
That's Dennis. He plays bass, and Pete's
And that's
back there,
Pete back
and he
there.
plays drums.
Weisenheimer. So, how'd you guys come together?
Pete and I know each other from Ramapo College, and everybody else we came together through Craigslist. And then after a while, our bass player left, and Dennis came over. He was just a friend that we knew, and decided to get together and start playing.
In a nutshell, the internet.
Yeah, the internet.
Sure, blame the computers.
Yeah.
So, out of curiosity, who has the most say when it comes to writing?
Whoa, I don't know. I think it's mostly a group effort. I think a lot of it starts with me and Ronette. Every once in a while, it just starts with a drum beat, and we just lay something down to that. You know?
Every song is different, really.
Yeah.
Now, just between me, you, and these four walls, who's the real pain in the butt in the group? Wow, I pegged it. My goodness. Thank you. See, would you say that one thing more or less is relatable where it comes to picking a style that you want to do for a song, or more or less?
Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes we just do things because we want to challenge ourselves, and we're like, let's do something in a really weird timing or something like that. Like that last song was in 11/8 or something like that. So, we'll do that, and then.
We
Yes,
it's
I
like you
don't
said,
know.
we really like to challenge ourselves by doing something that's different. Like writing a
Yeah.
song in 11/8, writing a song that doesn't really start until halfway through. Trying to do something
Exactly.
that's different to catch people's attention.
Yeah.
Now, one of the first things they teach you in acting and in stand-up is never compare yourself to somebody. Never say, I'm like so-and-so. I'm like so-and-so. Mostly because nobody else on this planet is this fat and ugly besides me. If you had to peg someone as a group to say,
man.
we're like, this
I
is who we listen to, this is what we image ourselves
Man, I
after.
think we have probably have a problem doing that. I mean, don't compare yourselves to people, but I mean, there's some good bands we like to fit with. There's this other Central Jersey band that we love called Goodbye Tiger.
Yeah.
We've been playing a lot of shows with them lately, and they're just great guys. They're coming out with a new album soon too. We're also coming out with a new album soon. We're recording it now, actually, and yeah. So I mean, guys, check out Goodbye Tiger.
Yeah.
Good to give the enemy some props.
Yeah.
Like most of my crew right now is all enemy. I see those middle fingers, guys. Thank you. Well, I want to thank all of you as well.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
all the way from Jersey.
It was a rough drive.
Wow.
Bridge and tunnel, both of them.
Oy. My condolences. But again, I say thank you.
Thank you.
And now we have come to the point in time where I want to introduce to you guys our headliner. I've worked with him recently too. I consider him a friend. He might not consider me a friend after today. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, Vernon Payne.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Good. I just turned 30, and I'm excited about it, mainly because I'm not controlled by sex anymore. You know, I'm not I don't care about boobs. You know, which is weird to me because boobs are great, right? They're great. Like they're like little stress balls with buttons on them. That's exactly what they are. You know what I mean? And if you play with her neck or her ear just right, those buttons they pop. That's what they do. You know. I remember when I was 12, I cut class to hang out with a girl that I was dating, and we're right in the middle of the hallway, and she allowed me to touch her boob, and I didn't do it gracefully. This is exactly what I did. I reached inside her shirt and I just shook it. I just shook her boob, just shook that little old boobie. That's what I did. I shook it like the first time meeting Buzz Aldrin. You know, I was like, thank you, sir. You've done a great service for this country. I appreciate you. You know, but like I said, I don't care about boobs anymore. Man. As you get older, your priorities change. You know, that's what happens. I remember I was walking down the street, and I seen this amazingly beautiful girl with her boobs out, and I walked right past them. They did absolutely nothing for me, but I turned around. I seen a big box of strawberries for $2. My nipples got hard. You know what I mean? It's if you think about it, fruit is very expensive in the city. You're paying $6-7 for fruit, you know? Don't get me wrong, guys. I love boobs, but I love bargains even more. You know what I mean? That's how I feel, you know? I moved back to New York City last year, and I've been having a great time, man. Just having going to parties, doing comedy, having the sex, you know, having a lot of that, and it was great. But the reality of New York City didn't really hit me until I was about a week away from being homeless, right? And I was trying to think to myself, could I really execute being homeless? And I don't think I can, man. Mainly because I have no survival skills whatsoever. No survival skills whatsoever. I have no idea how to hunt. I can't take a bow and arrow and kill anything. But if you challenge me to a game of Candy Crush, I will beat your ass. That's how good I am. I have no skills, man. I really don't. The only skill I have is to scare white people. That's pretty much my skill. As a professional black dude, that is my skill. You know what I mean? Professional black dude, if you know what that is, I'm a 30-year-old black man with a job, no kids, I haven't been shot yet. I am a professional black dude. That's what that is, you know? I remember I was walking down the side of the road, and this white lady, she turned around, I smiled, and she grabbed her purse. I know. I was like, if I want your purse, I can just take your purse. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. Not like I put my hand down there and you put yours, and I'm like, damn it, she got me again. You know what I mean? What is this magical force field around this purse? I don't understand it. I can't get it. I got so angry that I let her keep her purse. You know? But I took her yoga mat. I was like, yo, changing the game, son. Just changing the game. You know? You know, I feel like if black people really want to let white people know that we mean business, we should take things of theirs that they wouldn't expect us to take. You know, seriously, no taking wallets anymore, no taking bikes, no taking money, take things they wouldn't expect. You know, if you see a white girl in the corner eating a salad, just take it. You know, I'm sorry, Becky, but you know how much I love salad. This kill is awesome. You know, you know. If you see I've never seen it, but white people they walk their dogs, and then their dogs have these little booties on their feet. You know, just take it. Confuse the hell out of them. You know what I mean? You know, if you see a white person running a not-for-profit, just take it over. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Adam. But Daquan is taking over your fracking campaign. You know, it's really just how it is, man. You know, it's gonna do that. Just take it over. You know. But I've been loving living here, man. I noticed like Brooklyn's changed now. You know, it's changed. Like it's gentrification's going on in Brooklyn, and if you know what gentrification is, it's pretty much white people will bring soy milk and hope to the hood. That's pretty much what that is. You know what I mean? Like I'm walking around, I start to see like these organic places, mom and pop shops, a gluten-free pizza shop. When I was young, I used to be scared of getting shot. Now I'm afraid of becoming a vegan. You know what I mean? Seriously, I would rather get shot than eat a vegan cookie. You know, at this point, have you ever had one of those before? It tastes like it's horrible. It tastes like the end of the world, really. It really is. It's a September 11th for your mouth. That's exactly what it is. All right, guys. Thank you. That's my time. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, Vernon. Hey,
What's up,
there you
buddy?
go.
What's going on?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I don't even have to ask you what's your favorite thing about New York now. But what would you say is your favorite thing about doing stand-up? That you just love the most?
My favorite thing about doing stand-up, I mean, I guess it would have to be for both of us, just people laughing at you because laughing makes my life better. You know, I guess, just having people look at you and like enjoy what you have to do, or like the ridiculousness that I come up with, that I get to people get to enjoy what I have to say. I think that's pretty much how I feel, really.
Where do you get not your material from, but where do you get your sense of what to do from?
What to do?
You know what I mean? At what level where you want to take yourself?
And I want to take myself in stand-up, you mean?
Yeah. No, in life.
I mean,
I don't care.
I guess I want to get to the point where I can write my own show at this point. I mean, I did one before. I've done like a web series, and it was really good. So I know what to do now. So I just gotta keep on figure out the next idea and do that.
Because like one time, and I'll tell you why I ask you. One time I auditioned for a club that shall remain nameless, Gotham Comedy Club. And when a certain owner/booker asked me what I wanted out of stand-up, I made the mistake of saying I want what every fat white guy wants, the sitcom on NBC with the young hot piece of ass wife.
I mean, I think everyone kind of wants that. I mean, that's what's around.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a fat guy, but I love women just as much as the next guy. So I would love to have a nice one on my shoulder while I'm being stupid on TV. I don't know. I guess that's okay. Maybe.
Has anything ever shocked you?
As far as what?
In stand-up.
Shocked me at stand-up. Dude, I've been doing it for so long. At this point, nothing shocks you. Nothing shocks me anymore. I've heard so many penis jokes. There's so many penis jokes that you can hear. You know what I mean? So yeah, nothing shocks me anymore.
We'll talk after. I'll shock you on a bunch of stuff. You'll be
You
like,
know.
really?
Yeah, no, man, nothing. I've been around this for a while. Yeah,
Wow.
nothing really. I wish something did though. It'd be new.
It will afterwards. All right. Well, I would like to thank you, my guests. I want to thank Carl, who had a run. Once again, thank you so much, Carl. I got to thank my hardworking crew. Give it up for my crew, folks. Although you're all getting demerits because none of you got me a happy anniversary present. I want to thank my audience for stopping by. Thank you. I want to thank you guys for watching. And if you guys want to come, and you guys better want to come, do me a favor. Check out the Cyclone Variety Show on Facebook and click like. It's really simple. It's go click. If I can click like, you can click like because you're obviously smarter than me. Who else do I want to thank? Oh, I don't know. I want to thank everybody. And also, please check out CycloneComedy.com for all my future appearances. Until next month when I have another kick-ass show, ladies and gentlemen, I am Cyclone saying, stay humble, America.
Is this the end? Is this the end of what we could have been? Is this the end of the road? Will we find our way back home? As you stand on your stage, pedestal high, when your pillars fall down, you look toward the sky, but all you'll see is your star as it falls. You'll be the only one to blame for your downfall. The world is spinning out of rotation. I'm getting sicker with every second. As time passes, I can barely see the end. Is this real or a dream? 'Cause nothing seems real to me. Taking steps forward only to be pushed back down. Is it all over now? Over now. You speak like a child, you don't make any sense. Just showing teeth, thoughts into space. They float but don't strike, they're just empty. You look for the impact, but the moment